at the name of Professor Tom Ojienda, but some miracle has happened, and what has been read to us, Mr. Speaker, did not have the name of Professor Ojienda. Mr. Speaker, when you have leadership, you need to be magnanimous. You need to put service ahead of personal interests. And the Senator Cheruiyot, leader of majority, you will go far because you have demonstrated that you are magnanimous. I've gone through the members serving in committees, and you have not allocated yourself even one committee. I also want to thank the side of majority, because going to the sessional committees, none of the senators in leadership have taken up committees on any sessional committee membership. That is magnanimous. But on this side, the side that should be leading with example, Mr. Speaker, our leaders have allocated themselves membership in all the sessional committees. Shame on us. Shame on us. Mr. Speaker, I cannot understand a situation, Mr. Speaker, where yesterday a senator representing a very special constituency of disability, made a passionate plea that she be given membership in the Committee of ICT. She has been excluded, Mr. Speaker. She has been excluded. It's a shame, Mr. Speaker. I've served in this Senate. I was here for 5 years, Mr. Speaker. When I was appointed chair of the Committee of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights, Mr. Speaker, I had to seek membership of the Committee of Delegated Legislation because I could not get time, Mr. Speaker, to serve in 3 committees, Mr. Speaker. But what I'm saying here, Mr. Speaker, and with tremendous respect to those in leadership, distinguished senators, Mr. Speaker, is a situation, Mr. Speaker, where somebody is in leadership, but they still want to serve in 4 other committees. What are we trying to show, Mr. Speaker? Leadership is not about you being greedy, Mr. Speaker. Leadership is about you giving opportunities to those who have the same qualification as you to serve, Mr. Speaker. The law students watching their professor here, professor of law, Professor Ojienda, being excluded from membership of Justice and Legal Affairs. What message are we sending, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, nobody is more special in the contribution that we made in garnering votes for our party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, Mr. Speaker. From the county of Nyamira, from the county of Kisii, we gave as much as we could, like the senator for Isiolo, Mr. Speaker. And I can read the figures. From the county of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, we delivered 129,000 votes to Raila Odinga. From Isiolo, Mr. Speaker, Raila Odinga got 26,000. He lost to William Ruto, who got 32,000, Mr. Speaker. But as we speak here, Mr. Speaker, the only way you want to thank the Omogusi nation is to say that we deserve nothing, Mr. Speaker. Don't we have capacity to learn, Mr. Speaker? Even in the county of Kisii, where William Samoei Ruto got 134,000 votes against Raila Odinga at 263,000, he has rewarded the Omogusi nation with the seat of whip in the National Assembly. Because you must have regional balance. You must have fairness, Mr. Speaker. And we must speak these things because an injustice anywhere should never be tolerated, Mr. Speaker. Where is justice, Mr. Speaker, when the names that have been read today, Mr. Speaker, the next person in leadership also is in 5 committees, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the senator for Kitui. You are a great man, Senator Wambua. You are magnanimous, and you will go far. He has only elected to serve in 2 committees. That is leadership. That is magnanimous. Mr. Speaker. How, Mr. Speaker, can the senator for Makueni, a distinguished ranking member of parliament, serving his third term, Mr. Speaker, has only been given membership in one standing committee? Can you imagine? A senator serving his third term, whereas somebody else is taking 4 committees, Mr. Speaker. This is not the way to go, Mr. Speaker. And I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, this idea of trying to fight people, we have tried it on this side, and we have failed terribly, Mr. Speaker. William Ruto was a member of ODM, Mr. Speaker. He was a member of ODM. He was mistreated. He left, went to church, prayed. He is now the president of the Republic of Kenya. In the last parliament, Mr. Speaker, we joined hands here to sack one of the best speakers, Senator for Tharaka Nithi, Kithure Kindiki. As we speak today, Mr. Speaker, he is waiting to be vetted to become a CS, Interior and National Security. And I'm telling those who may have lined up to finish the son of Nyamukami, son of Omogusi, you will never succeed, Mr. Speaker. I'm a Christian. I go to the SDA church. I go to the Catholic church. I go to the Evangelical church. I have people pray for me, including my dear wife, Mr. Speaker. We must send a statement, Mr. Speaker, that there should be fairness from this side, the minority side, Mr. Speaker. These names are tabled, Mr. Speaker, even if I will be the only one protesting. I want to go on record that I register my protestations against the list as presented, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, we should walk the talk. If we are preaching fairness as a coalition, Mr. Speaker, we should preach fairness, Mr. Speaker. My coalition, ODM, Mr. Speaker, we have 14 elected senators. 6 nominated makes it 20. If you go to the Committee of National Security, Mr. Speaker, it has got 3 members of Jubilee. And Jubilee has 4 senators here. Where is equity there? Where? How can that be? Really, how can that be? Why not pick one Wiper, one ODM, one Jubilee? Mr. Speaker, I mean, how can we allow such an injustice to be coming from the side that should be keeping the government on check, Mr. Speaker? On sessional committees, Senator Mwaruma here, Mr. Speaker, has made us a passionate plea that because of institutional memory, he should be included in the sessional committee of CPAC. But his name is not there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the members of majority side, Mr. Speaker, to be persuaded on the interest of all senators sitting here. If there is fairness on the side of minority, join us to push for fairness. That's my appeal to you here. And we have done that before, Mr. Speaker. This matter should be given a bipartisan approach, Mr. Speaker. So that, Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, what we are passing here should reflect fairness, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, if you want to send a message to some of us from where we come from, Mr. Speaker, let us know today, Mr. Speaker. From the county of Kisii, the county of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, our population allows us only to elect 2 senators. And we have produced 2 senators here. Do you want us to multiply through osmosis so that we have 4 senators from Kisii and Nyamira, Mr. Speaker? We have done the best that we can to support our coalition, Mr. Speaker. And in return, Mr. Speaker, we want to be treated fairly, Mr. Speaker. I want to see, Mr. Speaker, if the leader of minority from the other side is from my neighboring county of Siaya, if the whip is from my neighboring county of Migori, I want to also see that the people of Nyamira, people of Kisii, are also acknowledged. And I want to ask my leaders, Mr. Speaker, to listen to us, Mr. Speaker. When we have failed to listen before, the results have been disastrous, Mr. Speaker. When we have refused to listen before, the results have been disastrous. Mr. Speaker, I was in this house. I was in this house, Mr. Speaker. I was in this house, Mr. Speaker, when we refused
Senator Mugeni, try to wind up, kindly.
The final point I'm making, Mr. Speaker, I was in this house, Mr. Speaker, when Senator Wambua, Senator of Kitui, persuaded us to be fair to Senator Wetangula. We didn't listen. We didn't listen. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I'm requesting, Mr. Speaker, that this House rejects these names. We go back, we adjourn, go to Kamkuji, Mr. Speaker. Our leaders listen to us. We present a list that is fair to all of us, Mr. Speaker, and that will give time to senators to discharge their functions, Mr. Speaker. So I reject, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, as you sit down, Senator Omugeni, Okongo Mugeni, you know, you